On Monday, we suggested that a likely continuation of his upside move was in order based off of the Monday statistics, which, as you can see over here at the open position, well, is looking pretty damn decent, especially on that nice move to almost $65,000. But as this has pretty much already happened, what is likely to come next on Tuesday? Maybe a little bit of a turnaround Tuesday. But before we get into that, I do want to once again let you know that you can join the second cohort for free with an exchange account in the link in the description below. Again, if you're looking for, just basically a trading system that you can apply your own preferences to, then this would be a good thing to be getting into. And again, it's free with an exchange account, so doesn't really require a credit card, as it says right there. Not bad. All right, sweet. Let's just jump right into it. Starting off with a continuation of yesterday's analysis. I want to keep this ongoing thread. Yesterday, we were saying, hey, Bitcoin very likely to continue on with the bounce. Why? Because of Monday flows. We'd have back tested this idea where basically opening a long position based off of these statistics over here on Monday and then closing at 10 a.m. UTC on Tuesday has yielded these results over the past almost 6 years now with a nice positive equity curve over time. Of course, you can make optimizations to this, but generally speaking, Monday has been a nice upside day, and it does look like we have that yet again right here with that open position at 61,209. Obviously, Bitcoin already traded well north of the average returns that we typically expect on this in the performance summary right here, which was 3 3/4. Yeah, average winning trade about 3 3/4. So this one, a little bit above there, especially on that move to $65,000 yesterday, which is why I did say in yesterday's video, hey, if you see a move above about, 63.5, yeah, 63,500, you might have a little bit of a scalp short coming into Tuesday. So it looks like that's playing out. This position is going to be closed in the next, I think, hour or so. When? It's hour and 20 minutes, actually. So ultimately, Monday flows strike yet again. But now that we've seen that, and now that we've seen that play out here, what's likely to come on Tuesday? Well, Tuesday is the highest probability day of the week to close negatively from open to close, with also the highest negative returns as well at almost -3%. So Tuesday, a nice day for a pullback. Now I want to differentiate the term pullback and reversal here, because obviously reversal would imply that Bitcoin is going to come back down and continue trend with the downside. But in this case, I would just be looking at a pullback first and foremost. We can see again that the average loss on Tuesday from open to close is about 2.80%. So let's see what that would look like in addition to or subtracted from today's open, and kind of come up with these ranges. Of course, on the other side, when it has closed positively, returned about 1 3/4, which is actually the lowest positive return for any weekday. But basically, 280 to the downside would actually put us kind of where we're at right now, just below 63,000. Yeah, $63,000. So, does Bitcoin maybe trade a little bit under that price again today? And then we do see that, Tuesday probably closes closer to about 63. Perhaps, yes. Again, another potential for a scalp position right there as well. Other than that, what else do we want to be looking at right here as I reference my notes? Yes. Okay. So some big things going on in the background, some very, very big things going on in the background. First, I want to turn the attention. I want to turn the attention to where do I want to start this one off? Let's actually keep on the Bitcoin thread right here. I want to turn the attention to the 5-day time frame. Again, the HPDRO setup still very much viable, but I do want to also point out that with 2.5 days left to go until this next 5-day time frame closure, we could very well see Bitcoin actually close above the 38.2 level right here, which is officially at pretty much exactly where price action is right now, 62,500. So Bitcoin's a little bit of a ball sack here above it. That, again, if Bitcoin closes above on that next 5-day period, I'd very much be looking for Bitcoin to put in a pretty significant move, maybe not on the next 5-day time frame, but probably throughout the rest of this month, maybe into August as well, somewhere close to about $67,000, as I do imagine that the median is going to become a bit of a magnet for price action. That very likely does come down somewhere between 66 to 67. I imagine that's also a nice major fib target right here as well. Indeed it is. That is a 618, or kind of right between there. So ultimately, that would be sort of the next step that you'd really be looking for on this rally if Bitcoin boulas are going to be pulling on through with the sort of price targets in mind. On top of that, I won't go over the HPDRO setup yet again. That one's either playing out or not, but seeing as HPDRV is going back into a contraction phase, you do see it go back down below 50 percentile. I do think the probability of this one trading closer to the median in these next couple of 5-day periods is highly likely. So that will come down, obviously, in these next couple of periods. But somewhere around 66, 67, maybe probably right there in the middle as well. Anyways, on top of that, I want to bring you to something completely different over here. I want to bring you to a chart that we have not looked at in a while, but does correlate incredibly well with Bitcoin and has been, I should say, on the long term, and has been a good guide as to the overall trend, which is the Coinbase chart. Now, a couple things strike me about this chart that are completely different than actually Bitcoin spot price action. One, we do see that the weekly time frame does not have the lower low that Bitcoin spot printed in July. It actually has the lowest low, the lowest low in May, and this one obviously would be a higher low, and especially with the advent of yesterday's price action with Bitcoin popping back up, closing even a well above the 1st of July, this is going to confirm this as the next sort of higher low. And that is starting to look pretty damn good. On top of that, we do see a couple of drives of hidden bullish divergence come off of the weekly RSI here, so a rather higher term time frame. Also, bouncing off of the neutral zone, which is a good sign overall for the BULAs. And over this next month, maybe month and a half, very likely we do see a retest of the June highs somewhere around 260 to 265. Why am I talking about this? Because again, as long as Coinbase stock is healthy, it's unwise to be bearish on Bitcoin or it's just another thing in the background that does kind of suggest, hey, upside is more likely here after maybe a short-term pullback. Definitely possible. I mean, not just possible, but probable, as we went over earlier. On top of that, is there anything else that I wanted to speak about here? I think the daily time frame did have a bit of a jewel signal. Maybe not the daily, but the 2-day or the 5-day, something like that. Was working on that. But again, Coinbase holding it up and consolidating at a very, very high level is an overall marker of the health of just the general crypto ecosystem. It's almost as if Coinbase is now becoming like the sort of indice to measure crypto off of, and less of Bitcoin, although Bitcoin obviously trades very, very close to it. But again, the key here was this one never made a lower low, which I did not catch when that was actually happening, but that would have been a very, 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 very important thing. And then one last thing, I do want to bring you to one last chart here. Again, very high term time frame stuff. So understand that this, it's going to take a long time to play out. Or actually, now that I recognize that the 5-day time frame, not only is it going to potentially close above the 38.2 level right here, but you can see that it's going to have a chance in the next 2.5 days on this next period to close above that 5 exponential moving average, that red moving average right here. And again, throughout this whole run, anytime that Bitcoin's been above it, those have been your trending moves to the upside. And whenever Bitcoin's been below it, it's been a corrective move. And it's actually been incredibly accurate. I mean, for such like a simple thing, it is incredibly accurate. It's not perfect. Nothing is, of course, but generally would be another just powerful feature right there. So do have to respect that as well. Anyways, what was I just about to say? Yes, it was a quarterly time frame chart. Now I went back to this one, and this was like the one major piece of hopium that I was having personally when Bitcoin broke down a couple weeks ago to the low $50,000 territory. It did test the 5 exponential right here. So again, long term, this is starting to shape up pretty well. I would feel quite confident already saying that Bitcoin is, probabilistically speaking, a lot more likely to move to the upside at this point. Now we're just kind of waiting for the next 5-day closure to, in my opinion, fully confirm it. Again, it doesn't mean it's going to happen like today or tomorrow, but throughout these next couple of months into the end of August, I suspect, and especially if you see Bitcoin even just trade anywhere above like $70,000, I mean, this is going to look like continuation on a macro scale. And at that point, you start to talk about the crazy targets again, or at least in my opinion, the crazy targets. Anyways, I do want to say before I sign it off, I do want to say massive thank you actually to all the people suggesting yesterday places to live in the U.S. It really seems to me like the biggest ones and probably the best fit, at least for what we're looking for, is Florida and Texas. Actually, some pretty cool places there. We were spending all day yesterday looking at suburbs around Orlando. Some people in the Discord were getting us going. It was sweet, man. Some pretty sweet places, but I don't know. Elsa's pretty afraid of the swamp puppies. Anyways, she need not be afraid if she has a protector. And you know what? In this video right here, I will present to you the protector of this stream. And with that said, I'm going to wish you the best.
All right, old-fashioned nerd. I am also of the Green Lantern Corps. I am ready for battle. I may not be able to uniform up as well as you, but I have my own
battle
uniform.
ready.
My own look.
ready to fuck
I'm
those
ready for
bears,
battle.
baby.
Just
Show me
as well
those
as
fists. And get fisted, you damn dirty bears. And with that, on that note, we're going to sign off. As always, want to wish you the best. Take care. Much love. And beware of the swamp puppies.